Hi everyone, and welcome to video 4 of my 10-day YouTube sprint. I have to start this video off with a confession. 3 days in, and I have already thought about stopping the sprint and moving on to a different idea. Now, I'm not talking about quitting YouTube, I was just talking about ending the 10-day sprint to try to focus on creating better videos. Now, the reason this came about is because video 3 was very difficult to edit. There were a lot of continuity errors, a lot of problems with matching different clips with other clips, and it sort of became this nightmare that I felt ultimately wasn't conveying the point that I wanted, and at the end of the day just wasn't very good. Honestly, was kind of boring. So if you watched that video, good on you. So I brought this up with my girlfriend. I said, I think I might quit the 10-day sprint. It's really hard and the video quality isn't what I want it to be. I feel like I need more time to make them great. And so we talked about it for a little bit, and at one point I just asked her, do you think I'm quitting because it's hard? She responded with, absolutely. After a little bit more conversation and listening to her infinite wisdom, I decided that I'm going to press on. And what's better, I'm gonna make a video about the whole thought process and how I got over it. So, look, the reality is we've all been through this. What happens is we start with a goal, we start with unlimited optimism and excitement, but then as we try to execute on that goal, we realize how hard it is and start to come up with all these different excuses for why we should quit. My excuses to quit started with the fact that these YouTube videos are actually quite time consuming. As someone who is new to the space, who is a complete amateur, who has no experience really operating a camera and certainly no experience editing the videos and no experience coming up with video ideas and concepts, this whole adventure has become very time consuming. It takes up a lot of my morning and it takes up a lot of my evening. It takes up my time to the point where other things that are important to me and other goals that I have, for example, working out and fitness, along with learning Spanish, have been neglected. And those two things are very important to me, and I'm not happy when I neglect them. And so that was excuse number one. But look, the real reason that I wanted to quit after 3 videos was that I didn't think that the first 3 videos were any good. I was getting frustrated. I didn't feel good about what I was creating. The videos felt rushed and sort of, honestly, just bad. And so the rationale was, if I end the 10-day sprint and perhaps take more time in between videos to make these videos, that the video quality would improve. And look, maybe that's the case, and I imagine in the future that will be the case. It's hard to put out a quality video every day, but the whole point of this 10-day sprint was to get my feet wet, to learn everything that goes into the process, including the filming, the editing, the planning, all that stuff, and to just do it, and to ultimately learn from this process. Right? And this is something that we all struggle with. Why keep doing something that isn't working? Why not try to change it? Why not try to do something different? Again, it doesn't mean quitting YouTube, but why not try a different approach? Look, of course that makes sense at different times, but again, for the purpose of these videos, the whole idea was to follow through on the sprint. So this brings us to my first YouTube quote, and I might just put a little stock image and put the quote over top, maybe play some music and really make it meaningful and impactful. Let's see. The best way out is always through. Robert Frost. Yep, that worked. Okay, so the best way out is always through. It reminds me of another quote by Winston Churchill, and who knows, maybe I'll put this with another image to make it real pretty. When you're going through hell, keep going. Winston Churchill. So look, this sprint is 10 days. It's 10 days of my life. It may be time consuming and might consume these 10 days and sort of take over my life, but it's 10 days. Even if it is complete hell, I can get through it. When life gets hard, when life gets difficult, when you feel lost, keep going. Now, I'm not saying that when you burn your hand on a stove, leave your hand on the stove and push through the pain. And I'm not saying if you smoke a pack of cigarettes every day, you should push through the pain of smoking cigarettes or whatever it is. Nor am I saying that we should push through things that are ultimately impossible. For example, if you are 50 years old and you have absolutely zero basketball experience, I don't care how hard you train, you're not gonna make the NBA. So give it up, dude. But what I am saying is, if you have set out to do something meaningful, something that feels right, something that you know will impact your life or even could possibly impact your life in a positive way, keep going, see it through. Why? Because what do you learn from quitting? There is nothing good that comes from quitting. All you're learning to do when you quit is how to quit. You are teaching yourself to give up when things get hard. You are learning to just make things easy in the short term without thinking about the consequence of how quitting now could affect your future. On the other hand, what do you learn from pushing through, even when it's really, really hard? Well, what you learn is somewhat infinite, because there is no limit to going out into the world, taking on difficult challenges, overcoming them, learning new skills, and then taking those skills and applying them to other things in life. You will also learn what you're made of. You will learn how far you can go, which can be quite useful. You will learn new skills and new areas of competence that you can't learn when you give up on something. Your self-reliance will grow. The faith, the belief that you have in yourself will grow. And the most important thing is when you do this over and over and over again, in different fields with different goals and different settings, you start to build this trust in yourself that no matter what happens, you will get through it. No matter what happens, you will find a way to succeed. So, coming back to this channel and using it as a practical example, I don't want to keep making shitty videos. I don't want to keep putting out terrible content, but I'm not going to quit either. By committing to that, what I'm saying is the only way out is through. The only way out of this is to go through it. And what that means is, because I don't want to make crappy videos, I have to learn very quickly, I have to learn on the fly how to make videos better, how to make them more exciting, more engaging, more meaningful, etc. If I'm worried about this process taking up too much time, I have to learn how to manage my time better. I have to learn how to schedule. I have to come up with a plan, which is something that I have never naturally gravitated towards. That is the power of committing to something, is if it's important enough, you will do things that you don't normally do if they're worthwhile, if they help you reach your goal, right? So I'm setting a schedule to make these videos, which is something that I don't normally do. If the editing is taking too long, I need to figure out a faster way to edit. If my videos are too boring or if they lack a strong message, I need to learn how to create more meaningful content. But if I quit, I don't learn any of these skills. I won't grow, I won't ever know how far I can go, how far I can push myself, and I won't know what I'm made of. So this brings us to a final quote, and it's a great opportunity to spread my wings and come up with another beautiful stock photo and overlay the quote with perfect font. Maybe a bit of music, let's see. Only to the extent that we expose ourselves over and over to annihilation can that which is indestructible be found within us. Not bad. I love this quote, and I want it to be the takeaway for today's video. Find the part of you that is indestructible. The part of you that can thrive through any hardship, challenge, difficulty, whatever it is. Find the part of you that refuses to give up, regardless of circumstance. But remember, the only way to discover that part of you is to face annihilation. I hope you enjoyed today's video. I hope it was an improvement on the first 3 videos. And as always, thank you for watching.